Hello students, welcome to our channel SD Biology classes. In my last video, I have discussed about placentation in flower. Today I am going to discuss about floral diagram and floral formula. So students, let's start it. So students, what is our learning objectives of today's lesson? Today we will know about what is floral formula, what is floral diagram, the explanation of different symbols in floral formula, explanation of the floral diagram and the limitations of floral diagram and floral formula. First of all, we will talk about the floral formula. So students, till now we have learnt about different parts of the flower, different holes of the flower, and we have also learnt about their arrangement in the flower. Now, what is floral formula? Floral formula means the expression of the arrangement of all the holes in the flower. What is the definition of floral formula? It is an expression summarizing the information regarding the number of floral holes and their respective floral members in different holes. And we study the floral formula mainly in the bud condition by getting the transverse section of the flower. So, what is the example of a floral formula? I am showing you one example of a floral formula. Suppose it is an example of floral formula. Here I am using many symbols. We have to know the meaning of these symbols. The floral formula consists of 5 symbols indicating from left to right. What are those symbols? First one shows the floral symmetry. If we consider this one, it shows the floral symmetry. Then the number of sepals, that stands with K. Sepals means calyx and it stands for K. Number of petals, that is the whole is called as corolla and it stands for C. Number of stamens, the whole is known as androecium and it stands for A. And the number of carpels, that is gynoecium and it stands for G. So, we will know all the symbols in details. So, what are the meaning of these symbols? BR stand for bracteate. If the flowers have bracts, then we are called as we are using BR. EBR stands for bracteoles. K stands for calyx, the outermost hole of the flower. Calyx, if it is used in this, N can be number of the sepals, then it is polysepalous flower. That means sepals are not jointed to each other. If it is given like this, then it is gamosepalous flower. C stands for corolla. Again, if it is like this, then it is gamosepalous, and if it is, then it is gamopetalous, and it is polypetalous. Petals are free. P stands for perianth. If sepals and petals are joined to each other. A stands for androecium. That means if what is the number of androecium? Suppose it is 5. That means 5 stamens and they are joined to each other. It can be A 1 plus 9. That means monadelphous type of stamen. Total number of 10 stamens where one is in a single bundle and another 9 stamens fused to form another bundle. This type of condition. Another one, G stands for the gynoecium. It can be, that is number of, what is the number of the carpels or pistil. So, we can use it in this way that G, if 1, then a single pistil or single carpel is there. It can be G, 2. So, 2 carpels are there which are fused to each other. So from the floral formula, we will also learn about that whether the ovary is superior. If there is underscore, a line under the G, then it is ovary superior. That is flower is hypogynous flower. If we are getting line above the G, then it is inferior ovary. And if we are line in this way, then it is half inferior ovary or perigynous flower. So here we have some of the important information. We will also know about the symmetry of the flower from the floral formula. That means if the flower is actinomorphic, then we are using this type of symbols. If flower is actinomorphic. If flower is zygomorphic, then we are using this type of symbols, or we can use this type of symbols. So this is for zygomorphic flower. We will also know about whether the flower is bisexual or unisexual. If the flower is bisexual, then we are using this type of symbol. It expresses that the flower is bisexual. If the flower is only male flower, then this symbol, that is staminate flower. If the flower is female flower only with the pistil or pistillate flower, then we are using this type of symbol. We will also know about the adhesion of the different floral parts from the floral formula. What kind of adhesion we can see? Adhesion means the attachment of the floral members with other members, like attachment of the stamens with the petals, attachment of the stamens with the sepals, this type of arrangement. There are three different types of adhesion. What are those? When the epiphyllous adhesion, that means the perianth is attached to the androecium. That means perianth means sepals and petals together fuse and form the perianth, and the androecium or the stamens get attached or fused to the perianth. Then it is epiphyllous. Another one, epipetalous. That means when the androecium is attached to the petals. Androeciums are attached to the petals. So for the attachment we are using this type of symbols. And another one is gynandrous condition, when the stamens and the pistils are fused to each other. So then we are using this type of symbols. So these are the important symbols that we are using in the floral formula. Okay. So students, till now we have learnt about the floral formula. But there are some limitations of the floral formula. What are those? We do not get any information about the estivation of different members of the flower. We do not know the information about placentation, inflorescence, and also we do not get any information about the types of fruit from the floral formula. So to get the information about estivation and placentation, we have to follow the floral diagram. So the diagrammatic expression of the arrangement of all the floral whorls is called as the floral diagram. But what is the definition of floral diagram? It is a diagram describing the relative position and number of floral members in each whorl in relation to the inflorescence or mother axis. This is very, very important. In relation to the inflorescence or mother axis, how the floral whorls or floral members are arranged, it is described in the form of the floral diagram. So here you are getting a floral diagram where we can see that this sign describe the mother axis or the inflorescence axis. Mother axis means the stem or the inflorescence where the flower develops. That is called as the mother axis. Whenever we draw the floral diagram, we should use this symbol. Next, now we cut the flower in a bud condition transversely, and we are getting the arrangement of different whorls. What are those? This one is the this one, this number 2 describe the calyx, that is the outermost hole. Next one, number 3, these are the small appendages. This describe the bracteoles. Bracteoles are the small leafy appendages that present in between the bracts and the calyx. And number 4, this one, it describes the bracts. Now this structure stands for the sepals. That means members of the calyx. It stands for petals and it stands for the stamens. And centrally it shows the placentation. So from placentation we can get the idea of the number of carpels present in the flower. And also we will know about how the ovules are arranged inside the ovary. So we are getting all the information about the flower if we follow the floral diagram. But there are also some limitations. The information about thalamus, hypogyny, epigyny and perigyny is absent in the floral diagram. So students, from today's lesson we have learnt about floral formula and floral diagram. This is the assignment based on today's lesson. Practice it at home. And in the next lesson we will know about the inflorescence. Thank you.